As you both entered the bedroom, Jungkook casually began to change his clothes. However, you immediately protested. Wine. Wait, what are you doing? Jungkook furrowed his eyebrows, puzzled. Jungkook. Yeah, what happened now? I'm just changing. You sighed in exasperation. Wine. Yeah, I know, but go and use the washroom. Jungkook raised an eyebrow, clearly amused by your reaction. Jungkook. Why are you getting so shy all of a sudden, huh? You rolled your eyes. Wine. Oh please, go and change in the washroom. Jungkook playfully teased. Jungkook. Why should I? I am comfortable here. You frowned, feeling a bit flustered. Wine. Yeah, but I am not. Jungkook smirked. Jungkook. Then you go to the washroom, I will change here. You glared at him. Wine. Yeah, what do you say, huh? Jungkook quickly gulped. Jungkook. What happened? You asserted yourself. Wine. Go and change inside the washroom. Jungkook tried to argue but eventually chuckled and gave in. Pecking your cheeks before heading in the washroom, you watched him, slightly shocked by his actions. Wine. Is he seriously a pervert or something? Idiot. Time skips after you both changed into comfortable clothes. You laid on the bed, bewildered by the circumstances when Jungkook joined you. Wine looking at him. Hey, what are you doing? Jungkook innocently asked. Jungkook. What? I want to sleep. What's the problem? You were taken aback. Wine. Yeah, what do you mean? We will share the same bed? Jungkook nodded cutely. Wine. No way. Go and sleep on the couch. Jungkook tried to reason with you. Jungkook. But why? You are my official wife, so we can share the bed. What's the problem? You were having none of it. Wine. But I don't want to share a bed with you. Jungkook grinned and sprawled across the bed. Jungkook. Then you go and sleep on the couch. I am here already. You shot him a glare. Wine. Yeah, you are so stubborn. How selfish are you? Heartless. You grabbed your pillow and moved to the couch, laying down. Jungkook watched you with some concern, regretting his teasing. Jungkook in his mind. She really slept on the couch? She is so stubborn. What should I do now? Her back will hurt if she sleeps there. Unable to bear it, he got up. Jungkook. Yeah, you can sleep on the bed. You opened your eyes, surprised. Wine. Huh? You said something? Jungkook sighed, slightly frustrated with himself. Jungkook. Yes, I said you can sleep on the bed. You perked up immediately. Wine. Really? You got off the couch, excited. Wine. But where will you sleep? Jungkook replied casually. Jungkook. I will sleep on the couch. You furrowed your eyebrows in confusion. Wine. But what happened now? Jungkook attempted to clarify. Jungkook. Actually, I always sleep on the couch. This bed was just for show. I prefer the couch. Don't think I am sleeping here for you. You nodded, beginning to understand. Wine. Oh, but why did you tease me earlier, huh? Jungkook smiled warmly. Jungkook. I was just teasing you, sweetheart. You laid down on the bed when you smiled unknowingly. Wine in your mind. Yeah, why are you smiling, idiot? And so, you both settled to sleep. You woke up in the middle of the night and noticed that Jungkook didn't have a blanket. You got up quietly, took the blanket from the cupboard and covered him with it. Wine in her mind, smiling. He looks cute while sleeping. The next day, as the sun rays filtered through the window, Jungkook slowly opened his eyes, rubbing away the sleep. He noticed the blanket covering him and then glanced at Wine, who was still sound asleep. Jungkook in his mind. You are not as cold-hearted as you pretend to be, Miss Icy. He playfully called her Miss Icy because she behaved cold as ice. He smiled at her and stretched his back. It becomes clear that he had been lying about always sleeping on the couch to convince Wine. In reality, he didn't do so because it hurt his back. Jungkook in his mind. My back is really killing me. He started some stretching exercises. When Vine opened her eyes, she saw Jungkook in front of her performing stretches. He looked handsome in the morning light streaming through the window. Vine rubbing her eyes. "Good morning, Mr. Workout." Jungkook looked at her and smiled. Jungkook. "Good morning, Miss Icy. Did you sleep well?" Vine while yawning. "Yeah, very well." When she got up to go to the bathroom to take a bath, Jungkook playfully blocked her way. Vine. "Hey, what are you doing? Let me go." Jungkook. "Why? I need to take bath. I woke up first." Vine. "Yeah, but you were doing stretches. Let me go." Jungkook. No, I need to go. I have to go to the office." Vine glared at him. Vine. "I also have to go to the office." Jungkook. "Really?" Vine. "Actually, Jungkook, I wanted to tell you something." Jungkook serious. "What's that?" Vine made him sit on the bed. He looked at her, concerned and serious. Vine. "Listen, Jungkook, actually..." Then Vine quickly rushed into the bathroom and locked the door. Jungkook was initially puzzled, but soon realized that it was a prank. Jungkook shouting, "Vine, you..." He sighed and smiled. Jungkook. "This girl..." When Vine came out after taking a bath with wet hairs, she noticed Jungkook looking at her. She turned on the hairdryer and began drying her hair, making it dance in the air. Vine noticed Jungkook's gaze and flashed a victorious smile. Vine. "Mr. Cookieful, now you can take bath." Jungkook smiled and got up. Jungkook. "No problem. Tomorrow I will bath first." Vine. Yeah, we will see." When Jungkook was about to enter the bathroom, the hairdryer suddenly stopped working. Vine tried to restart it, but it remained inactive. Vine. "Jungkook, look, it's not working." Jungkook looked at it and then at Vine. He took the hairdryer and tried to restart it. Jungkook in his mind. "Seeing her beauty, my hairdryer also stopped working, just like my heart." He chuckled and Vine noticed his smile. Vine. "Why are you smiling?" Jungkook looked at her. Jungkook. "I was just thinking, are you Namjoon's sister?" Vine, furrowing her eyebrows. No. Why?" Jungkook. "Because he also breaks everything he touches." Jungkook giggled and you gave him an annoyed look. Vine. "Very funny. Look at my face. I am laughing so hard. I am dying of laughter." Jungkook looked at her expressionless face. Jungkook. "Yeah, whatever. I guess it's not working. We will buy a new one. For now, just leave it." Vine couldn't resist another teasing remark. Vine. "Your things are just like you, Mr. Jungkook. Useless." Jungkook furrowed his brows. Jungkook. "Yeah, what did you say?" Vine laughed mischievously. Vine. "Oh look, your ears are also useless." She giggled and playfully walked out of the room. Jungkook chuckled. Jungkook. "I don't know from where she finds these many names. Mr. Jungkook, Mr. Workout, Mr. Cookiefool." Then proceeded to enter the bathroom. Time skips to breakfast. Everyone gathered for breakfast and Mrs. John decided to strike up a conversation with Vine. Mrs. John. "Vine, I forget to ask you, where do you work?" Mr. John and Jungkook looked at Vine. Vine. "I am the CEO of Kim Enterprise. I work in my family business." Mrs. John. "Oh, that's nice." Mr. John. "Yes, I already knew this. Mr. Kim is the chairman." Mrs. John looked at her husband with a curious expression. Mrs. John. "But you didn't tell me." Mr. John, while eating. "I thought it's not important." Jungkook interjected. "Alright guys, I am leaving now." Mrs. John suggested. "You can drop Vine off. Alright, Vine?" Vine sighed and reluctantly agreed. "Alright." Jungkook smiled and went outside when Jungkook opened the car door for Vine. Vine. "I will sit in the back seat." Jungkook was surprised. "What? Why? I am not your driver." Vine teased. "Mom said you would drop me, so for now you are my driver." Jungkook nodded. Husband and wife should sit beside each other. Vine continued to tease. "Oh really?" Jungkook nodded again. Vine teasing further. "Alright, but I am not in the mood to sit in the front seat." Jungkook sighed, opened the back seat door and sat next to you. Vine smirked and said, "If you are here, then who will drive the car?" Jungkook smirked back. Jungkook calling out, Driver! The driver came and sat in the driver's seat. Wine gave Jungkook an annoyed look and he gave her a victorious smile. Jungkook, let's go. They dropped Wine off at Kim Enterprise. Jungkook smirking. Yeah, call me and I will pick you up. Wine gave him an annoyed look and walked into the building. Jungkook chuckled and went on his way to the office. As usual, the day passed and in the evening, Jungkook picked up Wine from her office and then headed to home. Time skips to dinner. Mr. John had some news to share with the family during dinner. Mr. John, guys, my mom is coming tomorrow and you know she is quite strict, so please be careful. Everyone at the table looked concerned. Mrs. John, seriously? Mr. John nodded. Mrs. John, yeah, she is so strict. She will say, don't sit like this, don't eat like this, don't speak like this, wake up at 5 am, sleep at 8 pm, and so on. Jungkook couldn't help but chuckled. Jungkook, yeah mom, it's okay, she's my grandmother. It might be good for us to be a little more disciplined. Mrs. John, you know your grandmother Jungkook, she's really annoying. Wine, be careful. Wine looked at Mrs. John, unsure of what to expect. Mr. John tried to reassure Wine. She is not that strict, don't worry too much. Mrs. John, she is quite old-fashioned with traditional thoughts and views. She don't like girls who have jobs. Wine exchanged a glance with Jungkook and he raised an eyebrow. Jungkook, yeah, that's right. But what can we do, mom? What if she protests against Wine's job? Mrs. John insisted. No problem. It's good to be disciplined, Jungkook. Right? Jungkook managed a strained smile. Jungkook, yeah, but... Mr. John interjected. We will see how it goes tomorrow. For now, let's get some rest. Everyone at the table nodded in agreement and Wine and Jungkook headed to their room. As you settled, you couldn't resist asking about Jungkook's strict grandmother. Wine, really? Your grandma is that strict? Jungkook nodded with a playful smirk, testing her reaction. Jungkook teasing. Are you scared? Wine. Scared? Me? No way. Jungkook chuckled and decided to lay down on the couch. Wine. Are you going to sleep? Jungkook. Yeah, we have to wake up early. You acknowledged with a simple and bid him good night. Jungkook smiling. Good night. As Jungkook drifted off to sleep, you continued to work on your laptop, engrossed in your upcoming meeting preparations. Hours passed by and Jungkook, who woke up in the middle of the night, was concerned to find you still working. Jungkook concerned. Wine, you are still awake? Wine, committed to her task, replied calmly. Wine, yeah, I will sleep afterwards. I have some more work to complete. Jungkook sighed and laid back down, unable to help but think about your dedication. Jungkook in his mind. She is really hardworking. Nice, but she should get some proper sleep. What if grandmom says something unpleasant to her? I won't be able to bear it. But how can I stand up to grandmom? I hope everything will be fine. With these thoughts, he drifted back to sleep, worried about the impending visit. The next morning, Jungkook's alarm rang at 5 am. He was surprised to find you still working diligently on your laptop. Jungkook rubbing his eyes. Wine, you haven't slept? You focused on your work, answered without looking up. Wine, no. Jungkook, aren't you feeling sleepy? Wine, no. Despite your determination, you couldn't hide a yawn. Jungkook sighed, realizing you needed rest, and decided to head to the gym. Jungkook, I am going to the gym. Wine was surprised by his early morning routine. Wine, really? It's so early. Jungkook, smirking at her reaction, teased playfully. Jungkook, yeah, grandma could arrive at any time. Wine, alright. Time skips after Jungkook returned from gym. You couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. You were relieved to have finished your work, but also felt the pressure of Jungkook's grandmother's impending visit. Wine, finally, my work is over. Now I should take a bath before his grandma arrives. Just as you said this, Jungkook entered the room and you hurriedly dashed into the bathroom. Jungkook couldn't help but chuckle at your determination and the humorous timing of your actions. Jungkook, yeah, she really remembered yesterday's my words. He chuckled, when you shouted from inside the bathroom. Wine. Yo, you can never win from me. As you both freshened up and descended the stairs, they were greeted by the presence of Jungkook's grandmother. Jungkook eagerly took the lead, holding your hand as he walked towards his grandmother, giving her a warm hug. Jungkook, yeah, I missed you, Grandma. He beamed and his grandmother affectionately caressed his hair. Grandmother, I missed you too, my son. Jungkook pouted playfully. Jungkook, why didn't you come to my wedding? Grandmom, I am sorry, my son. I wasn't well, but I am here now. You observed their heartfelt reunion but couldn't help but notice the change in Mrs. John's attire. She was typically known for wearing shorts and skirts, but today she was in jeans with a long top. Grandmom, let me meet my granddaughter-in-law. Jungkook gestured towards you. You took a step in her direction and bowed respectfully to greet her. Grandmom while looking at you over. Grandmom, you are beautiful. You responded with a polite smile, but Grandmom's continued scrutiny made you feel a bit uncomfortable. Jungkook noticed his grandmother's intense observation and decided to ask. Jungkook, Grandma, is something wrong? Why are you staring at wine? Grandmom maintained a serious tone and asked you directly. Grandmom, are you going somewhere, Wine? You looked at Jungkook and then at his parents. Jungkook, yes, she is coming with me to my office. Grandmom furrowed her eyebrows, not quite convinced by his plan. Grandmom with a strict and serious tone. Why? What will she do there? Mr. John stepped in to provide an explanation. Mr. John, she wasn't feeling well, so Jungkook offered to take her to the doctor. Jungkook looked at his father, relieved that he was covering for your presence in the office. Grandmom, what's wrong with her? This time, both Mr. John and Jungkook answered in unison. Jungkook, Mr. John, fever. Cold. You and Mrs. John exchanged glances, slightly bewildered by the conflicting responses. Grandmom, huh? Decide once. Does she have a fever or a cold? Mrs. John, she has both. Grandmom sighed, feeling somewhat bewildered. Grandmom, all right, I know a homemade soup remedy that I will make for you. You will be fine. Don't trouble your husband. You looked at her and then at Jungkook, who was standing by your side. He immediately defended your choice. Jungkook, why should she bother me? She is my wife, so if she needs anything, it's my responsibility. Grandmom. Jungkook, I know you are worried for your wife, but trust your grandmom. I will make soup for her and she will be perfectly fine. Jungkook's frustration started to show. Jungkook frustrated. Grandma, why are you not understanding? Grandmom, don't argue, Jungkook. Go have your breakfast and head to the office. Jungkook looked at you, a hint of disappointment in his eyes. Grandmom, Wine, serve your husband's food. Everybody listened to her, including Mr. and Mrs. John. Mrs. John, Mom, there are house workers here. They will serve food to everyone. Grandmom, it's a wife's duty to serve her husband food. You are both immature and foolish. What will you teach your daughter-in-law? No worries. I am here to teach you everything. Mrs. John muttered under her breath. Mrs. John, old-fashioned and narrow-minded thinking. You served Jungkook his breakfast silently, feeling the weight of the situation. Once breakfast was over, Jungkook and Mr. John prepared to leave for the office. Jungkook turned to you and whispered in your ear. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Wine. Give me some time. I will figure something out. Stay active on your phone and I will message you. You gazed at him, unable to find the right words. Jungkook, okay? You nodded in agreement. Jungkook and Mr. John left for the office while you remained at the house, bracing yourself for what the day had in store. As you were about to head to your room, you couldn't help but overhear Grandmom instruction, Mrs. John. Grandmom, go and make soup for wine. Mrs. John, sounding a bit uncertain, questioned her mother-in-law. Mrs. John, me? But mom, I don't know how to. Grandmom, in her typical firm manner, reassured her. Grandmom, I will guide you. You should know how to make soup. If someone fall ill and I am not here, what will you do? Mrs. John considered an alternative solution. Mrs. John, we could go to the doctor. Grandmom, yeah, shut your mouth and go inside the kitchen. I will guide you. You couldn't help but think that Mrs. John was rather frustrated and you couldn't fathom the grandmom was so strict. Wine in her mind. Yeah, mom is really frustrated. Why is grandmom so strict? I don't know what to do. I have an important meeting today. It's vital for me to attend it. At that moment, you received a message from Jungkook. Jungkook text. Wine, listen, come near the window. Wine in her mind. The window? You obeyed and approached the window to find Jungkook waiting outside. Wine in her mind. What is he doing there? Jungkook texted. Wine, come down. I have arranged a ladder for you. Wine, is he out of his mind? I will break my neck if I go down from here. Jungkook called you. Jungkook, Wine, come down quickly. Wine, are you crazy, Jungkook? I can't. Jungkook, Wine, trust me, come down. Wine worriedly but also cutely. I will die, Jungkook. Jungkook chuckled. Jungkook, I won't let you die, Wine. Trust me. Taking a deep breath, you decided to descend the ladder. But on the third rung, from the bottom, you slipped. Jungkook was quick to react and caught you. It felt like a scene from a romantic movie. You were in his arms and your faces were mere inches apart. Wine startled. Oh no! Jungkook gently placed on the ground and looked at you with concern. Jungkook, what happened? Wine, I left my laptop in my room. Jungkook looked at you in disbelief and ran a hand through his hair. Jungkook, yeah, really? Now what? Wine innocently, we have to get it. Jungkook, alright, go then. Wine, me? Why? I mean, please, Jungle Book, can you go? Jungkook chuckled. Jungkook, why? If you go and by chance fall, I will catch you. But if I fall, you won't be able to catch me. Wine looked at him and nodded. Wine, yeah, but no problem. I know you won't fall. Jungkook sighed and went back to your room. He retried your laptop, but at the last rung of the ladder, he too slipped and fell on you. You attempted to catch him, but you both stumbled to the ground, ending up in a position that felt straight out of a classic movie. The ladder wobbled precariously, sending them tumbling to the ground, with a Jungkook landing gently on top of the Wine. Their eyes locked, and in that moment, faces were just inches apart. A surprising connection emerged. Jungkook's concern for Wine grew as he cradled her, while her heart raced from his proximity. It was an unexpected moment of intimacy that left them both with a fluttering feeling in their hearts. Then you came into reality and pushed him backwards, and he also stood up from you and provided you his hand to stand. Wine, oh no, are you fine? Jungkook, yeah, I'm totally fine. But you quickly rushed to your laptop, which was lying down on the ground, and picked it up and started checking it. That is it fine? Then Jungkook looked at you in disbelief with weird expressions because you were worrying about laptop, but he thought that you asked him that is he fine. Jungkook cleared his throat. Jungkook, hurry up, let's go. You gave him a glare. Wine, can't you come down properly? What if my laptop got broken or something? You are really careless, idiot. By saying this, you went towards car, while Jungkook was just standing there looking at you in disbelief. Jungkook talking to himself. She is really heartless. What if I get injured? But no, She is just worried about that so-called laptop. He sighed in frustration and sat in the car. Time skips at evening when you called your sister Luna because she didn't contacted you after she ran from the wedding. Because you were calling her continuously but she was not picking the call. You were worried for her, but then you got a message from Jungkook that he is there to pick you up from the office. So you went to him. You both were in the car when you spoke. Wine, what will you tell at home? Jungkook, about your escape? I will say that your signs were needed for some documents, that's why I picked you up from home. Wine, will it work? Jungkook, hope so. The drive was silent when you both reached home. Grandmom came towards your direction. Grandmom, where were you, Wine? Jungkook, actually, she was with me. I took her with me as I needed her signs on some documents. Grandmom, oh, alright, but you should have informed us once. Jungkook, I was in hurry, that's why. She nodded. When you were about to go to your room, but she spoke. Grandmom, Wine, your mom is in the kitchen. Go and take the soup from her. You will be fine. Wine, I am fine now, Grandmom. Thank you. When Mrs. John came outside, she was looking really exhausted. Jungkook concerned. Mom, why are you looking so tired? Mrs. John tired. I was cooking whole day. Jungkook, but where are the chefs? Grandmom, why you people need chefs? Jungkook, food made by mother or wife is better and healthy. They make food with so much love. Jungkook forced a strained smile. Wine in her mind. Oh my goodness, Grandmom is really too much. I am feeling bad for mom. Grandmom, today you all eat and from tomorrow Wine will also cook food her. You and Jungkook looked shocked at each other. Jungkook, oh my sweet grandma, why are you doing this? See, mom is so tired. What if she gets sick? Let the chefs handle the kitchen. Grandmom, Jungkook, you are a kid. You seriously don't know anything. Don't worry, you just do your office work and at home, Wine and your mother will handle. Let's do dinner now. When you got a text from an unknown number, text, save your sister, she is in danger. You saw the text and you got so worried. Upon seeing the text, you were filled with worry, your mind racing with the thoughts and concerns. Jungkook, Wine, let's have dinner. You couldn't bring yourself to respond. Lost in your own thoughts, the weight of message hung heavy in your mind. Grandmom, ever observant, noticed your lack of response and called out to you. Grandmom, Wine, come and have dinner. You looked at her and struggled to find words. Wine, I don't have appetite. With that, you turned away and retreated to your room, leaving your family puzzled and concerned about your well-being. After grandmother left to her room after having dinner, Mrs. John, already fatigued from a long day of housework, expressed her frustration to Mr. John, feeling overwhelmed by the expectations placed upon her. Mrs. John, honey, your mom is really doing too much. See my condition. I have been working tirelessly all day. Mr. John acknowledged her exhaustion and assured her he would try to talk to his mom, but also acknowledged that changing her ways was a difficult task. Mrs. John, when will she leave? Mr. John, I don't know. Mrs. John, I am afraid Wine is also intimidated by her. She's just been married and your mom is already saying she will have to start working at home tomorrow. Why? We have house workers and chef, but she still wants us to do the work. How will Wine focus on her office work? She will get sick. Hearing this, Jungkook, who had been listening in on their conversation, stood up and quietly left the room. This thought consumed by concerns for you and the mounting pressure for his grandmother's expectations. When Jungkook went to the room, he saw you were standing in the balcony all silent. He was concerned and confused when he decided to start a chat. Jungkook, why? Today I am thinking to sleep on the bed. You didn't respond. Jungkook loudly, can I sleep, Miss Icy? When you looked at him, Wine frustrated, do whatever you want. Jungkook was confused and concerned about your nature when he went to the washroom to change into some comfortable clothes. But when he came outside, he saw you sleeping on the couch. He was now more shocked and concerned. Jungkook in mind, what happened to her? Should I woke her up? No. She must be tired. She didn't slept yesterday. But her back will pain. Should I pick her up and put her on the bed? No. She will shout at me. He sighed and decided not to wake you up. He laid on the bed still thinking about you and concerned. Jungkook thinking, is she really upset about what grandma said? Or is there something else? Jungkook, but today this bed is feeling so comfortable. Yeah, I missed you so much, my bed. People who sleep on the bed are so lucky, he said and chuckled at his own thoughts. Jungkook, how will I find out what's wrong with her? Or maybe she is just tired. By thinking all this, he slept. He woke up in the middle of the night when he saw you. Your blanket was falling on the floor and you were sleeping without it. So he quickly got off the bed and bent down to your level and picked up the blanket and wrapped up in it. Jungkook looking closely and thinking, why are you affecting me, Miss Icy? I don't know what is happening to me. You annoy me sometimes, you tease me, but I don't know. Still I am getting attracted to you. My feelings for you are growing every day and I will wait for you, for the day when you will also have feelings for me, when you will also realize your love for me, and then I will propose you officially. He smiled and pecked your cheeks. Jungkook in his mind, what happened to you, Wine? You are upset today, right? But what is the reason behind that? I like that annoying and savage Wine who always tease me. Your silent behavior is killing me. I really hope that you trust me and tell me everything. You can share anything with me without any hesitation. He looked at you and kissed your hair and stood up and went towards the bed. When you opened your eyes slowly as you got awake when he puts blanket on you. Wine in mind. He is not bad, but why that idiot kissed me? But I felt something different. I mean, it was a strange feeling, a feeling I never felt before. Why my heart always starts beating fast whenever he comes close to me? Why is he affecting me? Am I in love with him? No, Wine. Come to your senses. How can this be possible? It's just been around 2 to 3 days. And how can someone fall in love so quickly? And love is just waste of time. And I don't like to waste my time. People get hurt whenever they love. So I don't want to take any risk. Wine, dear, sleep. And tomorrow find Unni. I have to find her. I don't know what is going on. I have to go in the depth of the situation. By thinking all this, you both slept. Who was that unknown person? Will you be able to realize your feelings for Jungkook? Is your sister really in danger? Wait for part 3. And please guys subscribe to my channel.